Hello, and welcome to Candidates Up Front. This is a public interest election program of Berks Community Television and the League of Women Voters of Berks County. Our May 16th primary election is coming up. Democrats and Republicans will vote for judges, school directors, and county, township, borough, and city officials. The deadline to register to vote is May 1st. To check your voting status, go to votepa.gov. That's vote.pa.gov. You can register, change your party, locate your polling place, or apply for an absentee or mail-in ballot. The deadline to register is May 1st. The deadline to apply for a mail-in ballot is May 9th. The League is interviewing those candidates who wanted to be interviewed in contested races. For each race, the candidates will get the same basic questions and the same amount of time to answer them.
The featured office today is Reading City Council. Council members act on legislation, set the budget, and confirm appointments of the city manager and members of boards. They need to have lived in their district 1 year prior to the primary election and must retain residency in their district. They serve part-time for a 4-year term. The salary is $5,000. There are 2 Democratic candidates for District 2, Jamie Baez Jr. and Janice Grant. District 2 is Southeast Reading. Each candidate's views are their own and not those of the League or BCTV. Today our candidate is Janice Grant. Welcome.
Thank you.
Janice, please tell our viewers about yourself and why you are running.
Number one, I was born and raised in the 2nd District. Went to school, Reading High School, graduated, and continue to live in the city. The reason I'm running is because I see how beautiful Reading used to be. It still is not a bad-looking city, but far cry from where it came. I believe I can help make a change by being a mother of 5 and went to the PTA meetings and et cetera, et cetera. And I know it must be difficult for the families to try to raise your children when so much is going on with the crime, with the parking, with the gangs, with the drug addictions, and so forth. But it still could be helped. I've seen many cities in Chicago and Detroit and even in Baltimore have turned around because of cohesive working together and trying to find solution, and everyone can be a part, not just the leaders, but everyone.
Tell us what education and background you bring to the position.
I graduated from Reading High School, which had a very good education. I went on to, after I became a widow, I returned to school in Langhorne Karen University and received a Bachelor of Science and also a Master's in Counseling. I spent 41 years with the Social Security Administration, coming from a GS-2 to a GS-13. At that time, I executed the rules and the regulation of various programs and worked intensely with the community. I find with that background, I could help with things that have to be really dealt with. And I know that working with the others, the other issues, and also the other people.
What personal qualities do you have that would help you be an effective city council person?
I listen. I'm a good listener. I pastor a church, so I do a lot of counseling in the community. And I find that sometimes that's why I counsel, because they like for me to listen. So therefore, I think I can hear the people. And I think the people have most to do with it. of their concerns for their city, not just the leaders. The leaders have to listen, and they have to take in what the residents and the businesses and other sorts of agencies think they should have. And you know, all ideas don't have to be used, but all ideas can be heard. And I think that I'm a good listener and I could be a big part of the city council.
What do you see as the biggest issues that will face Reading in the next 4 years?
Parking, crime,
If you want to talk a little bit about those.
the parking is terrible, but we just had a meeting last evening at the town meeting concerning the making Cotton Street one way and have parking on each side. My opinion, it's an idea, but I think of the safety, the children crossing the street and the people crossing the street. They're not going to go to the corner. They're going to go to the middle of the block. And with traffic going one way and parking on the other, they would hardly be seen crossing. So safety is a big factor on that. But the parking should be dealt with.
What are the most important concerns of the people of your district?
As I had said, crime. It's becoming, how can I say, just rampant with the scams and the elderly being fearful. And not only that, being afraid to come in the city of Reading in the evening. But many times they have entertainment down here, but that doesn't stop people from coming with the entertainment, but yet they're seen fearful of coming for other things or just for walking or whatever. So I think that has to be addressed, and I think it can be addressed, and I think it can be helped in the next few years.
When council is approving a mayoral appointment, what criteria will you consider?
The leadership, past practices, what have they done in going forward, the city going forward. Does he listen to his departments, or does he listen to the people? I think there's a lot to be considered.
Sure.
In picking a mayor, a lot.
Blighted properties. Some people say they should be fixed, redeveloped, or repurposed. How would you address the issue of blighted properties in the city?
Each blighted property has to be considered on its own, whether it could be fixed or whether it could need to be torn down, whether it could be rehabilitated for family. Everyone shouldn't be torn down, but many are eyesores. But each one has to be evaluated, not just torn down because they're blighted, or can be torn down for parking. But that's another thing, because some blighted properties don't need to be torn down because they look bad. All they need is some loving care of renovation and some dollars to renovate on that.
That makes sense. Most of the time, Reading is a safe place to work, live, and visit. And you've talked about this. Violence related to drugs, gangs, and disagreements hurts neighborhoods and reputation. What can the city do to thwart this violence?
coming together, working together, organized group neighborhoods. A lot of people fear because they don't like retaliation. But we could have it so, if need be, we could even set up state control at first, and then the neighborhood could control themselves, but get teaching and instruction on how to do this and come together toward the violence. Because violence is bitterness. Violence is bitterness. Violence is something that's within, that gravitates, that goes from one to another if initiated. So that can be helped. That's just not a disease. It can be helped.
Budget decisions are hard. Sometimes the services that people enjoy, like parks and libraries, are underfunded, so things people need, like police and street repair, can be properly funded. How will you prioritize spending when you vote on the budget?
That's a tough question because everything's important. The city runs on different categories, different areas. Different areas need different things. I think if you did the city's strengths and the weaknesses and the opportunities and the threats, all of that together, then you look and you divide that and you see, and then you have a session on 1, 2, 3, 4, and then continue, go back to the session and see where we can minimize the area in which they're working on. And the budget there should be no mistakes in the budget, bottom line. No mistakes in the budget. That's why you have accountants. That's why you have auditors. That budget should be 100%.
This is something you've already talked about, but how will you encourage public participation in issues being decided by City Council?
Having the town meetings. Having town meetings are good because it brings out the stresses in the people. And if the leadership listen to what the people are saying, and let's find solutions. Don't just have 1 or 2 town meetings. You need meetings every week almost in order to get down to where necessary, to make changes, to have changes, to see where the money is most needed. Not everybody is concerned. They go on the bandwagon when the other people go for the work. Well, those other people are concerned about their city. And that's why there's town meetings needed, because we have to get to the bottom line and get to the bottom need.
If elected, what are your priorities for the coming term?
Well, I would have to do surveys, and I would have to hear the people, and I would have to hear them and see what they want, see how we can do it. Just saying this, then, no. I have my ideas, but I don't circulate them until I hear what the other council and then the people. Let's take surveys and let's try and get them together, and let's try to single out the different areas. Some are more important than the others, as I had said before, and some are not and can hold off until another time. But the people are important, and we have to make them important. We have to make them feel that they belong here and they have a right to give their suggestions and their ideas.
What are your ideas to make Reading an attractive place for families?
Oh, beautify it, make the education better, parking. They have housing codes and they have certain to rehabilitate the homes and to keep the homes in standard, but they need a little bit more than that. You know, they need the alleyways cleared up, they need the internal avenues need to be cleaned up, and you need more effort. And see, if you don't live in the city, you really don't care. Many don't care, I'll put it that way. If you don't live in the area, well, let the back alley be dirty. No, that's part of the city. Let's get these weeds out, let's get the trash. I see a lot of people many times that work for the city longing around. I see the trucks over here and the trucks over there. I said they need to be on their job. I shouldn't say it like that. They might be working, but I see many that have just talking around, but I could be wrong.
What are your ideas to make Reading an attractive place for businesses?
Parking. If you know you have to put money in the weeder, or you know you can only start 15 minutes, or if you know that I can run in here and double park, you get a ticket, and the ticket is astronomical. It's terrible how they raise the tickets. That defers people for coming into town. There's the parking, it should be free. The parking should be free. Somehow we can do it. If you attach it on to another tax on your water bill or whatever, but it should be free. That'll bring people more into the city.
Okay, how are you financing your campaign?
Right now, I'm not.
That works.
Right now, I have to wait until after the primary, I'll say, okay?
Okay, I think we have a minute then for your closing statement.
Okay. I just asked, I need your vote for us to help make a change for our beautiful city of Reading that everyone can enjoy, that they can enjoy free parking, that they can enjoy the beautification of the homes, that they can enjoy just knowing that it's a safe without crime, that the violence will be, and the parking spaces are plenty, that people don't have to argue about them or just crime because of that. And I need your vote. Will you vote for me, please?
Thank you, Janet Grant, for sharing your views with us. Viewers, please remember there is another candidate for this City Council district on the Democratic ballot, Jamie Baez Jr. You will vote for one. For more information on more candidates, please go to the League's online voters guide, vote411.org. All you have to do is type in your address. It will show everyone on your ballot along with information the candidates have provided. Be prepared when you vote. Use vote411.org. Thank you for watching Candidates Up Front.
You will find the Candidates Up Front interviews on BCTV and on its website and its YouTube page. And for more information on candidates, you can go to the League's online voters guide, vote411.org. Or you can contact Berks County Election Services, elections@countyofberks.com. Their phone number is 610-478-6490. And thank you for watching Candidates Up Front.